Right now, do not think about a white bear. Not the fur, not the black nose, not the way it slowly turns its head. If your brain just painted one anyway, congratulations, you just failed the easiest instruction on earth. And that tiny failure explains why "just stop" has never once worked on your worst habit. By the end of this, you will know exactly why suppression backfires and the 4 moves that actually kill a craving. I'm Atlas. I coach discipline for a living, so let me kill a myth you have believed your entire life. Willpower is not a clamp you squeeze harder, and anyone telling you to white-knuckle it just handed you a broken tool. Here's the loop to hold on to. The harder you shove a thought down, the more your own brain guarantees it comes back, and I am about to show you the machine that does it. In 1987, a psychologist named Daniel Wegner ran one of the strangest experiments in the history of the mind. He sat people in a room and gave them one job. For 5 minutes, say every thought out loud, but whatever you do, do not think about a white bear. Simple, right? Every time a white bear snuck into their head, they rang a bell. The bells would not stop ringing. People could not go 30 seconds without the bear clawing its way back in. But that is not even the wild part. Wegner had a second group suppress the bear first, and then in a later round he gave them full permission to think about it. That group did not just think about the bear. They thought about it more than people who were never told to suppress it in the first place. He called it the rebound effect, and it is one of the most replicated findings in psychology. Suppress a thought now, and it comes back later, louder, hungrier, and harder to shake. The name traces back to Dostoevsky, who dared his brother to stand in a corner and not think of a polar bear. The brother, of course, could think of nothing else. So this is not a modern hack or some TikTok theory. This is a 200-year-old trap, and you fall into it every single time you tell yourself, don't. Here is the machine underneath it, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. In 1994, Wegner explained the rebound with something he named ironic process theory. When you try to control your mind, your brain quietly splits the job between 2 workers. The first worker is the operator, and its job is to distract you, to go find anything that is not the white bear. The second worker is the monitor, and its job is to scan for the exact thing you are trying to avoid. The monitor is basically asking, on a loop, am I thinking about the bear yet? And do you hear the problem already? To check whether you are not thinking about the bear, the monitor has to keep the bear in mind. The very act of guarding the door keeps the intruder standing right there in the frame. Now here is the cruel design flaw. The operator is expensive. It needs focus and energy and real mental resources to keep hunting for distractions. The monitor is cheap, quiet, automatic, and it never clocks out. So what happens the moment life actually gets hard? You get tired, you get stressed, you get busy, you are cooking and worrying and scrolling all at once. Your resources drain, and that expensive operator is the very first thing to shut down. But the cheap little monitor keeps running, still scanning, still whispering, bear, bear, bear. Now you have a brain actively searching for the one thing you wanted gone, with nothing left to fight it. That is why the craving hits hardest exactly when you are exhausted, lonely, or overwhelmed. It is not that you turned weak in those moments. It is that suppression was always alone, and stress is when the bill comes due. The tool you were told to lean on gets weakest at the precise moment you need it most. So the picture in your head, willpower as a clamp you squeeze, is not just unhelpful, it is mechanically backwards. Once you know this pattern, you start seeing white bears all over your life. Take the diet first. Tell yourself, do not think about the chocolate, and researchers find you think about it more and often eat more of it. The forbidden food becomes the only food on the map. Take sleep. Lie in bed and command yourself to fall asleep right now and watch what happens. Trying hard to sleep cranks up your arousal, and the effort itself keeps you wide awake. Psychologists literally call it sleep effort, and it is why the harder you chase sleep, the faster it runs. Take anxiety. Tell yourself, do not panic, and the monitor starts scanning your body for any sign of panic. It finds a fast heartbeat, flags it, and now you are panicking about panicking. Take the athlete. Tell a golfer, whatever you do not miss left, and under pressure the ball drifts exactly left. The monitor was watching for left, and the body steered straight toward the thing it was tracking. Coaches call it choking. An ironic process theory is sitting right underneath it. And take the habit you actually came here about. Do not check your phone, do not smoke, do not open that app. Every one of those is a white bear. In every don't, you fire loads the monitor with a fresh target. You are not fighting the craving. You are handing it a name, a face, and a reason to keep showing up. So if suppression is the broken tool, what is the real one? This is where discipline stops being about squeezing and starts being about design. Fix number 1 is replacement. Your brain hates a vacuum, so do not think about the bear. Leaves an empty room. The bear just walks right back into. Instead of subtracting a behavior, you install one. The cleanest way to do that is an implementation intention, a rule shaped like when X happens, I will do Y. Not, I won't snack at night, but when I want to snack at 9, I will make tea and stand on the balcony. You are not fighting the urge, you are handing the moment a pre-decided exit. The research on these if-then plans is strong, and they beat raw willpower in study after study. Fix number 2 is to stop wrestling the thought and just let it pass. This one comes from acceptance and commitment therapy, and the core idea is diffusion. A craving is a wave, not an order, and you can watch it rise and fall without grabbing hold. When you stop fighting the bear, you stop feeding the monitor, and the thought quietly loses its charge. The fastest way to make a thought pipe down is to stop demanding that it leave. Fix number 3, and this is the one I personally live by, is kill the load. Remember, the monitor only wins when you are stressed, tired, and stretched thin. So protect your sleep, unstack your day, and stop asking your willpower to fight 3 fires at once. A rested brain runs the operator, and a fried brain hands the whole thing over to the monitor. Fix number 4 is the big one. Design your environment so there is nothing to suppress. You cannot crave the cookie that is not in the house. You cannot doom scroll the app you deleted off your home screen. Discipline is not a feeling you summon, it is a room you build so the right move is the easy one. And underneath all 4 fixes, one mental shift changes everything. Stop setting avoidance goals, the don't do X, that keeps handing the monitor a target. Set approach goals instead, the do this, that gives the operator somewhere to actually go. Do not be lazy is a white bear, but walk for 10 minutes at 7 is a direction. Your brain is far better at moving toward a target than away from one. So point it at what you want, never at what you fear. That is the whole game, and it has almost nothing to do with how hard you can squeeze. Athletes have a word for it, the yips, the golfer who thinks, do not shank this putt, and then shanks it on command. Negotiators feel it too. Decide not to mention a number, and it becomes the only thing your mouth wants to say. So if pushing the thought down is the trap, what does a trained brain do instead? Psychologists call the better move urge surfing, and it flips the whole fight on its head. You stop wrestling the craving and just watch it like a wave, noticing it rise, crest, and fall on its own. Most urges peak and break in about 90 seconds if you refuse to feed them or fight them. Because a craving is not a command, it is a weather pattern, and weather always passes when you stop grabbing at it. And here is the cruel twist Wegner found. The more tired and stressed you are, the weaker that off switch gets, right when you need it most. So here is the loop. Closed. Suppression backfires because guarding a thought keeps it alive, and it collapses the second you get tired. The fix was never a tighter clamp. It was replacement, acceptance, less load, and a smarter room. Stop telling yourself don't and start telling yourself instead. Subscribe and I'll hand you one uncomfortable truth about discipline every week, the kind that actually changes something.